First thing you're going to hear from, like I said, is Mr. Zellers and the awesome percussion ensemble. Let's hear it for them. addition of Miss Karaher coming in this year, it's been unbelievable. She's a phenomenal teacher. I know you guys haven't had a lot of experience with her yet, but she has been behind the scenes, just changing our program kid by kid. And this was one of the hardest things for me to give up, was this group right here, because this is where some of my most joyful times were in the Leander Band program. And she has done a ridiculous job with these kids. She's absolutely amazing. This jazz program is just going to take off with her leadership. Here's Miss Karaher and the Leander Jazz Ensemble.
conducted by Mr. Robert Slade.
Fabulous. So that was a nice little winter medley, a little jazzy for you. And I just want to say a couple things about the concert band. They are so much fun to work with. We've had Mr. Slade and myself just have a blast working with them. They're awesome humans. So thank you, concert band. And now we're going to do a quick setup change with the symphonic band. So let's give them another round of applause.
Ladies and gentlemen, the symphonic band under the direction of Miss Kara. Want to brag about those guys for a second. They just came to us like a couple weeks ago, like, we want to do this thing. And I was like, hey. And Mitch, Jilly, one of the very saxophone players, he was like, I'll arrange it. It's all good. And they hadn't even done it. In 1 week, Mitch arranged that and put it together. It's just pretty phenomenal. That's the kind of talent and work ethic these kids have. It's awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, as you guys know, Miss Cross is leaving us at the end of this school year, headed on to do awesome things and getting married and all kinds of great stuff. So in her last winter concert here, here's Miss Cross and some final points.
It's gonna be a little awkward because nobody else is talking between their pieces, but I need to. Little Elves, go do your job. Mr. Adcock, can you bring the lights up just in the audience real quick? So, I'm gonna need a little help. Like it wouldn't be a Miss Cross concert if she didn't do something weird and random, right? So this next song is super exciting. I need some help. Are there any younger brothers or sisters in the audience? Awesome. So my little elves, Rachel over there, wave Rachel, Taylor back there, okay, Lillian back there, and Linda up here, have some things for you, okay, to help us with this next piece, okay? So they're gonna come around. While they do that, I'm gonna talk about some of my fantastic children. So I teach the Symphonic Wind Ensemble. This is my 8th year. They're just really great humans. They put up with me and all the crazy stuff I want to do. Right now, all the other directors are backstage kind of going, oh my God, why? Before we do move on to our next piece though, I want to recognize some people. We just went through our Region Man process this last Saturday. I just want to recognize those guys who were really successful. We had the most successful. Mr. Sladen's going to talk about that during his part. But I just want to recognize the guys in here who did so great. If you auditioned for Region Band, would you stand up, please? That's pretty awesome. It's college level HUs. Starting this summer. They did a super great job and went and auditioned and competed with people from all over the region. Now, if you made the district band or higher, please stay standing. District band or higher. Okay, and then if you placed in the 5A or 6A region band, would you stay standing? A couple people. I'm really fortunate to have in my group 2 young gentlemen who are fantastic at several things. And that is Mitch Bellawald and Brendan Winters. They made the region jazz band. Brendan gave away, he's got in the percussion section. Awesome. Candle deployment, Ellis, how are we doing? We're good. Now, if you're helping us out, could you get your adult to help you turn on your candle? And then could you hold it up, please? In the air. Hold it up in the air with your hand. Beautiful. Awesome. Okay. That's awesome. So my candle deployment elves are gonna keep handing them out until we have just like so many candles out there. I'm gonna talk just real quick about this next piece. This next piece is my very favorite Christmas carol. And it's actually by my very favorite group. It's by a group called Mannheim Steamroller, which I explained to the band children is like Song Lux, but for Christmas in the 90s. So feel free to share that part of our culture with your children when you go home. So this is Mannheim Steamroller's version of Silent Night. I hope you enjoy it. We worked really hard, and we have some special guests who I'll talk about at the end.
Y'all hold your candles up. Good.
All right, thank you so much, wonderful helpers, and to Mr. Adcock for helping facilitate with the lights. Doing such a good job, candle helpers. I have more elves who are going to come trade your candle for a piece of candy. Awesome, right? Great. You're welcome, Mom and Dad. Just one piece of candy. Right. We're going to make a quick transition to wind ensemble now. Thank you.
No, I don't want to.
I'm so sorry. I did say that we had some special guests. Kate, Emma, and Sarah from us.
Good evening. You guys are forward for a real treat to hear this last ensemble, which is the Wind Ensemble, under the direction of Mr. Sladen. Before he comes out here, I just wanted to mention that, as you all know, this is technically Mr. Sladen's first year as head director. And I just wanted to point out, as you can all know, tell, we've had such an amazing year so far, mainly to do with his leadership and just him being an awesome human and an awesome teacher. So thank you, Mr. Sladen, for being a great friend and mentor to all of our coworkers and to all the students who just doing a great job this year. So here's Mr. Sladen.
Thank you so much. Yeah. I want to recognize a few students as well. Some students that made the Region Jazz Band. First, I don't think the student is on stage with me, but Luke Crochet, you're somewhere in the audience. Can you stand up, please, and get recognized? Piano, Region Jazz Band, wherever you're at, Luke Crochet. You might be back behind me. There he is. Awesome. We also had some other students here in the region that were in the Region Jazz Band that are in the Wind Ensemble. If you made the Region Jazz Band, you're in the Wind Ensemble. Stand up, please. Awesome. Let's hear it for these guys. We had the most students make the Region Jazz Ensemble this year, which is fantastic, with the leadership of Ms. Carroll once again, which is awesome work. If you if you auditioned at Region Bands, please stand, be recognized. As I sent out in an email last week, we had the most success that we have had here, at least since I can recall, since the time I've been here, and definitely the most that we've had ever going on to area, which is quite a feat. I told these students this year that I was going to make them go 6A because the school was going to be 6A next year, and it is. And so I made them go the 6A route just because I wanted them to compete with the best of the best and really see what it's like at the highest level in our region. So we went and we did absolutely incredible, which I knew was going to happen. We sent many students 5A as well, which I allowed the seniors to do the option to go that route since there's a big opportunity to make it to state and do those things. We had a lot of people advance as well. So if you made the region band, either 6A or 5A, please stay standing. We actually had some students make district as well. If you made district, if you could stand up, please, and be recognized too. A bunch of you students made district too. And if you are advancing to the area level, please stay standing. So advancing the area basically means that you are in the very, very top of your room, and these students will get the opportunity in January to go on and attempt to make the all-state band. So if your student is standing right here right now, they better be practicing over the winter break, because that is a huge opportunity for those guys. So congratulations to them once again. If you are available at the end of this concert to help us strike the stage, we would really appreciate it, as well as Mr. Adcock. We would appreciate any of your help. We would love to see you in the band hall afterwards and say hi and all those things, and I hope all of you have a great happy holidays and enjoy some time away and enjoy having your kids for a couple weeks. We'll take them when you're done with them, and we'll be doing some awesome music next semester. No holiday concert would be complete without Sleigh Ride, so here we are. Thanks, everyone. Kids, we have auditions in the next 4 days. Yay!